Welcome to the Akashic OdySee.
Okay, so today's video we're going to be talking about why we repatriated to Tanzania, Africa, Zion, as we like to call it. So it was always a definite for us to visit. We knew that we were going to go back. My family's from Nigeria, so that's the main reason why. And just because it's home. As far as moving, the catalyst for that was the pandemic and the state of the Black experience in the divided states, how it's just been escalating. And we are also raising a Black son, so all of that kind of put the fire to us for us to get out of Babylon. The thing that really took it over the edge was the talk about the jab. And then we watched some videos from the spiritual perspective from people like Dr. Mundi, etc. So that's what brought us to the idea of, okay, we need to move our lives over to Zion. So once we knew that was happening, we started to do some research. One thing we did was Astrocartography. And basically, can you talk about what that is,
Astrocartography is taking your birth date and your natal chart, essentially, and having it basically use a snapshot of where the stars were at the time to see how they were playing out during the time of your birth. So what you do is you'll for astrocartography, you will take the location you're planning on moving to, and then you'll do your natal chart based on that location. And then that will let you know how the stars are going to treat you in that location.
Right. This is our son up here on here. So, astrocartography, it's basically, I would say, treat it like tarot and astrology, in that you take what resonates and you leave what doesn't. And first of all, you have that intuitive connection. So astrocartography, intuition, discernment, prayer. It seemed like Kenya was a place for us. So that's originally where we were gonna go. We started to watch Kenyan repat videos, but it didn't click. Something didn't click all the way. So we were doing that. We came across a Journey with Us video, and they were talking about the cost of living in Tanzania, and there was such a resonance with that video. With the cost of living is a lot lower than in Kenya, but I think it was just the lifestyle, something about Tanzania was pulling at us. So then we, shifted gears and started looking into Tanzania, watching this copious amounts of videos, from the food to the environment to everything, soaking up all that information. And then after that, or as we were still doing that up to the day that we left. But then we started to actually plan. So we started to, I don't know what the first thing was. I feel like passports was probably the first thing. And we got our passports last year. It was about the time that before our son was born, like right before that. So last summer. And then our visas we got a few months ago, I think.
The key is to apply for these things well in advance so that you can bypass any issues.
Yeah. So passport, visas, we started to get rid of our stuff, sell our things. We started to learn Swahili. We definitely recommend, even though we started to learn Swahili, we've still come into contact with language barriers and, little hiccups. So learn as much Swahili as you can before you come. Also, as far as planning, we We booked where we were going to stay. When we first got there, we filled out anything that we could, any documents that we could, any copies. We did all of that beforehand. We got an unlocked phone. We definitely recommend that because you'll need that. You'll need to have an unlocked phone, whether you get your phone unlocked that you already have or you buy an unlocked phone. The C test. So there's been an update as of May 4th. There's been an update as of May 4th with Tanzanian restrictions. So before, one of the main things that Tanzania was in the spotlight for and the attraction for diaspora coming to this country specifically was the not having to deal with lockdown restrictions like wearing a mask, having the C test, etc. But that has changed as of May 4th. You have to do your own research to get the details, but you definitely have to have a test. You have to do quarantine 14 days at your own cost, wearing a mask, and that's all I can remember off the top of my head. But yeah, that's something that just changed. So
essentially, if you need the test for an airline and it requires that it's within 72 hours and you know that it's going to run out, you may have to have additional monies to take another test once you get here.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind.
Getting the C test, like, it's like a balancing act. You got to get it just at the right time because you can take it too late or too early. In our case, we did it too late, and so we had to move our ticket date, our flight date, and that cost us like $600 something. So if you can avoid that, some people they took like an early test and they took a later test closer to when they were going to leave. And then that way they were covered either way. And so that's a good plan. There are free tests available, so definitely do your research so you don't have hiccups like that.
Yes, and if you would like for us to do a video on where you could do free tests in the States, primarily Oklahoma, southern region in the United States, leave a comment and let us know and we'll get that done.
Yeah, or any other extra information that you want, leave us a comment and we'll do a video about that. Let's see. As far as planning, we packed light, and we will do a video about packing because that's pretty important. What you should leave, etc. Yeah, packed light. Yeah, and downloading apps. There's a few apps that you should download before you leave and kind of set them up because it's going to help you when you get over here. Chime or SoFi are good apps. We use Chime, and SoFi, I think you have to apply and be, what's the word? You have to apply for it. You
And
can't
be
just sign
authenticated
up.
or something.
Yeah.
The process is a little bit longer than Chime.
But advantages are, I think they have no fee at the ATM and some other benefits like that. Chime is a couple dollars. It's not bad at all. And you can do transactions internationally with both of those. I think that's basically what we did as far as planning. So our next video we'll talk about the actual flight itself and the airports and all of that. So stay tuned for that.